Morning, guys. Just getting started here. Um, Quick overview before we dive into anything. Um, we had non-farms payroll at 8:30, and that's the reason why we saw pretty weird price all week. So generally, I try to wait until after that data report is released, and after that, price should open up and become a bit more efficient. So here's the 15-second candle for non-farms payroll. And here's the 1 minute candle. Covered about, let's see, 200 candles or 200 handles in about a minute, 2 minutes. Um, Interesting thing about that was we had this spike down. We didn't really take anything out. There was this sell side over here, but it wasn't significant. We had this buy side over here, which we took out. That was more significant. So seeing us do that, I was anticipating that we'd go lower. Um, so we created this high, took this high out, and then we did end up coming down and we took out this level 20060. Um, let's see, around 9 o'clock. We've kind of been in a holding pattern, um, some time distortion since then, and around 9:35, 9, yeah, we'll say 9:35. Um, we swung down here and then we started to slowly move higher. So I'm not really certain what I'm thinking about this week. Gonna jump up to the 1 minute or 1 week here. Actually, let me move over to this view here. So on the 1 week, pretty strong sell side delivery, and usually we get the TGIF 20 to 30% retracement on Friday or the following Monday. It's like a 70% chance of that happening generally. But pretty much I'm not certain that I think that's going to happen this week, just due to the fact that we did see a TGIF last Friday, and this morning we took out the buy side before taking out the sell side. So I do kind of anticipate us going sideways a bit here. Um, could absolutely be wrong. It does look like we're working right now to take out this buy side. But that's where we stand at the moment. There was some SMT divergence just before I started stream. YM was still lagging, not yet in positive territory, but now all three indices are. So looks like price may actually continue to be efficient because this SMT divergence is now gone. So gonna jump in here now and look to see what we've got. It's looking pretty clean at the moment. We've got these um, propulsion blocks. So we've got a propulsion block here as well as one here. So I do like that. Obviously, you want to be wary of price changing direction considering it's been bearish all week. So that kind of plays into what I was saying about not being entirely certain whether or not we'd get a TGIF today. So gonna grade this here just to see if it's an order block. I'm not certain it will be just because price has been pretty bullish over the past 15 minutes. It does seem that now price is getting a little inefficient. It was fine before, but now it seems like it's getting a little nastier. So we got this close below here, and we just ran through this midpoint here, so this isn't validated. Could go lower, but I wouldn't trust it. So from here to pretty much in this area, price was a bit more efficient. At the moment, it's looking inefficient, so gonna hang on and see if price presents anything that I feel is within my parameters to take a trade. So I want to watch to see if this becomes an order block. This is far too wide for me to want to take a trade with this much risk on, but it's possible that this is a propulsion block right here. I'm actually gonna get rid of that, but we have this down close trading into this down close here. So that could send price higher. Let's take a look what we're inside of right now. This is a new day opening gap for today. So possible that we wanted to come back into this. And that's our TGIF. That was actually pretty fast. That's 20% retracement right there on the week. That was incredibly fast. Before 10 o'clock even. And I did trade this morning, so I'm fine not trading now, especially looking at price. It's a bit inefficient, but also fast. For me, that's low key a recipe for disaster. So I'm fine not trading this, but obviously gonna sit here because it is Friday. That's what we do on Fridays. So possible propulsion block here, as I mentioned before, this trading into here should send it higher. If we are to trade below this, I would think that we would continue lower if we were to trade below this. And this in itself is some sell side liquidity. So let's see how far we are from this. 22 70 75. I would think that we could see a candle, a displacement candle here, heading straight up just to run this out. A few fast candles to get through this. Oh, when did that happen? So moving into some inefficient delivery right here. So I want to watch this to see if we close below here. If we can close below here, we want to see price respect the midpoint of this. Super inefficient. So if we do close below here, want to see this be respected. Um, this close was way too far down. So I'm not taking that. Have to risk about 20, 30 handles just to take that. So I'm not going to take it. But if this is the start of sell side delivery, this would be the most immediate area of liquidity here. So we took that out. That liquidity there. Gotta watch to see where we're going here. Just because we took this out. And if price was a bit higher in efficiency, taking this out and then closing below this order block here should send us down fast. Um, Not really seeing that right here, which kind of goes with the whole inefficient delivery right now. So we're gonna have to wait and see if price ends up getting a little bit cleaner. And we're already through the midpoint of this here, so clearly inefficient delivery. Yeah, so same thing here. Closing below here, we just rushed down and closed all the way down here. Ideally, like to see a close up here, or if we're this far down, um, I just don't want price to be so wide. So I'm struggling with the idea of taking an entry there because of the amount of risk that needs to be put on. Yeah, I don't love that. And it's moving inefficiently, so the bid ask right here is running. So when I just tried to go here with 0, it moved it up to 17 ticks. Generally don't enjoy trading in that sort of environment. So we have more sell side here. Um, but I would think if we're going to continue lower, we're going to sweep this down here. So a lot of sell side liquidity. I'm still going to look for setups if we continue lower. Um, but the way that price is moving right now isn't really allowing for me to take something that I'm interested in. I'm just going to take this off here. Let's see what that low is. Oh, 81.75. So just a couple ticks into this opening range gap midpoint and just above this first presented fair value gap. I'm not loving this delivery. It's fast, but on top of being fast, the amount of candles that it's moving, um, it's just like pretty unsafe. So sitting on my hands. So this current candle is pretty important. Want to see this either close up above this candle here, or start to head down. Still have a second left here. Okay. So we're just gonna wait for this to kind of clear itself out. Want to see what this does if this candle closes below this one here, but it does look like we are in a bit of inefficiency. So as you guys can see, we were about to close below it, with 1 second left, and with less than a second left, we pushed up a couple handles to close above. So just a gnarly environment right now. Got a volume imbalance here, followed by another volume imbalance. So it is pretty nasty. And the fact that we got two volume imbalances to me would make me think we're just going to run quickly and take out some area of buy side initially, and then end up turning around and coming lower. Well, let's see. I think we just disrespected that. Yep. So is invalidated. Get that off of there. So so right now looking to see if price closes below this here. It's nasty price action. I don't even like the thought of using this order block now. I'm probably gonna miss an entry because I'm taking that off so that we can see this a little bit better, but I'm not really enthused about taking an entry in this right now. Looking at the 1 minute here, we have this volume imbalance. We came through and cleaned both of these volume imbalances. It would make sense for price here to just want to run higher. But I just don't trust this PA that we're getting. Yeah, I don't really trust it, but I do think this should start to jet higher. I would like to see this trade into here, before doing so. Okay, that barely touched inside of here. Absolutely disgusting price action. Now watch this candle. Now we should continue higher. Um, didn't get an entry on there, because I don't love this price action, but we should see a pretty strong displacement candle here for the very next one. If we don't get that, we'll probably go sideways. This is not the cleanest price action. Mm. This is kind of surprising because price was bad all week, but we got NFP at 8:30. So usually that allows us to see much cleaner price action. But right now we aren't really getting that. I'm kind of baffled by that. Oh, we do have Jerome Powell speaking at 12:30. That could play a factor, but I still wouldn't have expected that to stall things the way that they are at the moment. Okay. So this closed outside of this here. Normally what we would want to see is price respect the midpoint of this here. With the way that price is delivering, I'm not really believing that it will respect that. It should fall out of bed. Wow. And we've got some divergence between the two times here. On the 1 minute, we've got possible propulsion block here. But on the 15 second, it's not super clean. So let's also keep an eye on this one over here because if price closes below the midpoint of this, then I think it's safe to say that we should see lower. Um, but if price closes above this candle here, this black one, we should start to move higher. I think until we do one of those two things, we'll be hanging around inside of this area. This is some of the most volatile price action I've seen in a long time. Getting a lot of wicks here, every single candle. Still looking to see if we can close above this or below the midpoint of this one here. See what the price is. Yeah, so I think we just closed below the midpoint of that one there. So on the 15 second, I'll look for something bearish. Sheesh. So we should be able to take an entry now. I'm only going to put one contract on because this price action is insanely nasty. Sheesh. I wasn't even able to get my entry, and that's how rough this price action is. I wasn't able to get that in, and we're already 25 handles lower. So if we close below here, I want to see price respect the midpoint of this. But it is super nasty. Yeah, it's so fast, I'm not even able to get an entry. So looking for it to take out these lows here. It's moving pretty quickly, so I would expect it to want to run down there pretty fast. Here we go, another order block. Let's see if we respect it. Immediately disrespected. Sheesh. I'm not able to get this on. So I'm not gonna take anything at this point. Can just see that the way that price is moving, it's fucking up my entries. So like I'll put this on and see the bid is just here. Once I move this, the bid should stay the same, but because price is moving so intensely, the bid is changing, usually increasing my risk. So I'm just not gonna take anything, but we can see where price is going. These lows down here. And once we close below the midpoint of this, especially if we close outside of this, um, we should respect the midpoint of this first presented fair value gap and then quickly run through and take these out here. I do need to mention that we need to close below this on the 1 minute basis. So right now we're watching the 15-second, but we need to see a close below here on the 1 minute, which is this guy over here. So waiting to get a close below here. Price is slowing down a little bit. Um, Still thinking we're running to take this out here. Let's see what the open is. 675. Still waiting to get the close below here. Oh, it's nasty. Interesting. So it seems like we don't really have a sense of direction at the moment. Want to see if we disrespect this the midpoint of this order block here. Could possibly have just wanted to revisit this first presented fair value gap. So I want to look to see if we can get some sort of elements of precision. I want to see if we can get an order block here, maybe a propulsion block following. Um, I if we were to get that, I could get behind going higher and us using this first presented fair value gap to go higher. Um, on the sell side, I'd need to see an order block where the midpoint actually gets respected. Down in this area, we'd create order blocks, but immediately disrespect the midpoint. So right here, we close below this. I want to see the midpoint of this be respected in order to believe we're going to go lower. But right now, it's very fickle. So I want to see this midpoint respected right now in order to believe that it's going lower. Just gonna set this up. I don't know if we'll take it because I don't love this price action. I don't love the risk. It's not super high risk, but I just don't love the risk with the delivery.